Hey guys, welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do something fairly simple but often required in Virtualbox. And that is to extend the size of a Windows hard drive. So what I mean by that is you might have, when you've created your initial virtual machine in Virtualbox, you came to your storage and you created a hard drive, a virtual hard drive, and you gave it a particular size, such as in this case we can see I gave it 50 gig. Now I've tried a few things. I'm trying to do some tutorials on something, and I found that I run out of hard drive space. So the way to fix this, specifically if you're running a Windows 10 client, and in this case we're running an Ubuntu based Cinnamon client, 19.3. So, but it should be for any Windows, it should be for any Linux. So, all right. So the first thing you have to do is that what you have to realize is if you want to increase the size of this disk, okay, this is a trick that a lot of people don't know about and beat their heads over and finally give up. All right, is if you have your virtual drive, all right, which I've got no snapshots at the moment. If you have a virtual drive that has got any snapshots, all right, you cannot do an expansion on it. Okay, I'm not sure if this is for Linux as well, but a Linux server or host using a Windows 10 client, Windows 10 cannot be expanded. So what you need to do is actually take a clone, all right, of your current virtual machine, and you must be aware of the fact that in order to do this expansion or this extension of the hard drive, which was too small, you're going to lose all your snapshots. So if I say, all right, I want to do a clone of this machine and I give it some name, whatever the case may be, you decide what it is, learning clone, all right. And then an important thing is, especially with Windows, is when you get to your MAC address policy, all right, include all network adapter MAC addresses, all right. And additional options is keep disk names and keep hardware UIDs. This is going to require that you cannot run the original virtual machine at the same time as this new one that you're cloning. So either make sure about that or just get rid of the original. But if you're really worried about the snapshots, then keep the original, but don't ever have them running simultaneously. So basically we're doing is we're creating a clone of a current virtual machine, getting rid of all snapshots. Okay, so if we say next, it asks us, do you want to do a full clone or a linked clone? We want to do a full clone. That means get rid of all snapshots. All right, so let's assume I click on clone now, and it's going to take an hour or whatever it takes to actually create the clone. Now, an example is the very machine I'm showing you now. I just did a clone of that, okay, and I would like to increase the drive size, all right. So I think it was 50 gig that I showed you originally. So if you go back to, settings, and if we come here to our storage, and our drive 1E0A8 is 50 gigs in size. So I want to change that to be bigger because that's not enough disk space. All right. So now remember, we've gotten rid of our clones, of our snapshots. Very important thing. With the snapshot, you can't do this extension. All right. So you've got to get rid of the snapshots. You've got to blend them all into one file. Which is good, you save some disk space anyway. So, all right, so that virtual size is what I want to change. So I come into VirtualBox, I come up here to File, and I say Virtual Media Manager. Now, let's just quickly make sure of the name of this hard drive, 1E0A. All right, so it's one. You normally would have a nice name there, but okay, I don't in this case. All right, 1E0A. All right, so we come back here to Virtual Media Manager and we look for 1E. There we go, 1E08A. All right, it tells us it's 50 gig. I were to extend it to 85 gig. all right, or whatever you want to, but let's say 85 gig, and apply. Okay, we'll go ahead and apply that, and we can close it. And if we come and look at our settings now of this virtual machine that uses that virtual hard drive, if we come to storage, you'll now notice that it's from 50 to 85. All right, but like I say, the very important thing to remember is there are absolutely no snapshots. All right, if there were snapshots, you'd have to do a clone and get rid of all those snapshots. All right, and well, then we can start it up, and then Windows must be made aware of the fact that there's new disk space. So let's start it up. Yeah, so there we have it. Windows updates. Didn't ask for it, tried to block it, went through anyway. Okay, wow, if that isn't an absolutely beautiful desktop background. Really like that. All right, so let's log in to our virtual machine. It's a Windows 10 virtual machine running on top of Linux Mint 19.3 with Virtualbox 6.1 something. All right, so this startup is not specifically quick. It's in fact, I would say quite slow. Okay, and there we have it. We logged in. The screen size is not right. This should fill the screen. Now, it does sometimes take that I have to reinstall the guest editions for Virtualbox. Sometimes it's okay if I just, I let it run for a while, like now it's load for a while, and then try control full screen quite a few times. There we go, it's worked on this first try. So there we go, so that worked perfectly. All right, so we can close that. Now, so as you can see, I've got Linux running in the background. I've got a Windows 10 machine running in a Virtualbox in the foreground. And so what we want to do is open the File Explorer. Either click on it on your toolbar or Windows key E. And then come down here to this PC, right mouse click on that and say manage. All right, and then when this pop-up comes up, we select storage and then disk management. This handles our hard drives and so forth. And then what gives us a feeling of warmth is hopefully the fact that it's going to pick up the fact that we got, yeah, there we go, 35 gig of unallocated disk space. Now, I mean, you have many options. You could format this as drive D and copy things onto drive D and so forth. But what we want to do is we just want to extend drive C. All right, so the drive C is no longer 49.3 gig, let's say 50 gig. But plus 35, so therefore 85 gig. All right. So what you can do then is right mouse click on this drive C partition and say extend volume. And it'll come up with this pop-up. and it's ask you, you're going to increase this, etc. Say yes. All right. Now, typically, you don't need to do anything except click next here. All right. But it's actually asking you to specify individual sizes, what you actually want to do, and so forth. Now, the default is the maximum allowable size, which is typically what you actually want to do. So just leave everything as it is and just say next. All right. And are you sure and everything? Yes. Finish it. Now watch that. Drive C suddenly jumped to almost 85 gig from 50 gig, or just under 50 gig. So drive C is now an 85 gig drive. So to get a Windows 10 Virtualbox hard drive to be resized, okay, requires you to get rid of your snapshots. You may have no snapshots. Then you do your in VMware itself. In VirtualBox, VMware. Okay, in VirtualBox itself, you come here to File and you say Virtual Media Manager. You select the actual hard drive. All right, you'll figure that out by if you go into your current virtual machine and you go to Settings. And then you say storage, all right, and it'll give you that name, all right, that name, okay. So if you take that name and you come back to, cancel, all right, if you take that name and you come back to Virtual Media Manager, which is that name, all right, and then you can extend it. So I can extend it now again. It's currently on 85 gig, all right. I can extend it by even more. All right. I don't think it's allowing me at the moment because it's running. It's currently running, but you can extend it by more. But 85 gig I find enough for me to do demos on C#, SQL Server, Xamarin, development types videos. Okay, so that's it. So we're up and running here. We've got an 85 gig NTFS hard drive. If we just open Windows key E and we look at local disk C and do a properties on that, and it tells us that we've got currently used is 45, and we've got 38, 39, let's say 40 gig free. If you add 45 and 40 together, you get 85 gig. So we now have a drive C of 85 gig, and that'll solve my problems of being able to show demos and so forth. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you, man. Goodbye.